Two cameras, right?
Sound speed, and go ahead and slate, please.
Cool.
And in front of, so how you slate in front of his face.
Oh,
So pretty much you want it, because the camera focusing on him, so nobody
Yeah,
can see
come
the
up,
slate.
slate him.
Yeah, so
right in
you
the
go
face.
right here and just take one mark. Good to go.
He only does that to make me feel good, like I'm professional. Hi, this is Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio, and today we are going to talk about the Fyne Audio Classic 12 Gold SP. I only have this speaker. Oh my God, this is the first time I've seen them. I had them next door. We got to listen to them, and they're only here for a couple of days, and because I got to send them off, but that's okay. I want you to know about them. Now, listen, talking about that, before we start, I want to remind you that if you demo Fyne audio speakers at your local store, give them the business, man. I mean, I always say this, every town is better off with a record store and a hi-fi store. Now, Fyne is made up of the engineering and the top management team from Tannoy Residential. They left the company after Behringer Corporation, Behringer Company, bought Tannoy because Tannoy was part of a larger group called TC Group. Now, some of you guys already know Behringer, so maybe you can explain the gig down in the comment section. Now, the head engineer there is Dr. Paul Mills, and he's one of the greatest speaker engineers of our time. And he's now an owner. He's not restricted by bean counters, and he's able to come up with new designs and new patents. I mean, people call Fyne Audio Tannoy 2.0, which is flattering, I guess, but I don't think they like to look at themselves that way. They are about new designs and earning patents, which they have done, and to make the best point source loudspeakers in the world, and they're achieving that. Now, until now, like Fyne had two different classic looking series. The vintage series, which is the most expensive ones, they have the most ornate cabinets, made of birch ply and walnut veneer and inlays, and they're very, very best components. And then the classic series, which is a bestseller and that has a fantastic cabinets, but they're made of HDF, not birch ply. And they have premium parts, but they're not crazy extravagant. Now with this speaker, you get all the best parts and birch ply cabinets, but without the inlays, for about half the price of the top of the line vintage. Now, look at this. Look at this. I can barely pick it up. That is the ginormous neodymium. I've never seen anything like this. This driver design is the same as the vintage models. It is the exact same driver with the massive, there's the ferrite, and then this is the neodymium magnet, and that is only for the tweeter. It's only for the tweeter mid-range driver. The conductive, and they have a 3-inch titanium dome for the high frequencies. Now, the conductive nature of neodymium, it minimizes distortion by damping the voice coil and reducing inductive losses and lower distortion and just a much nicer, smooth frequency response. It's fantastic. And then they cross this tweeter over, this mid-range tweeter over at 750 hertz. A lot of companies are going to run it well over 1,000 hertz, but it does a lot for the bass and the mid-range purity. Now, the Fyne flute surround is not there to look cute. I mean, it is there to terminate cone energy. So that gets rid of smearing, and they have a multi-fiber cone, which is a brand new design that they came up with, and which is really, really natural sounding, but it's got a really fast transient response. They came up with this design. It is a paper cone behind, well, you'd have to see it when you take it apart. Anyway, the low frequency system is that big ferrite driver. Sorry, I had to set it down, man. It's a big ferrite magnet with a rectangular copper voice coil, and it's on an aluminum former, and that aids with power dissipation. A copper shorting ring on the pole piece reduces eddy currents and the mid-range reduces mid-range distortion. Now the crossover component upgrades, including the high power clad resistors, clarity caps, high grade polypropylene capacitors, they're all built into this top end crossover. They're using Neotech PC, OCC internal wiring for a transparent, just fabulous signal transfer. And then take a look at the terminals. They're upgraded terminals. They're gold plated, but the thing is, they're made of a high purity copper by ETI. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. They use cryogenic treatment on the complete crossover. And they bought him a cryo lab, believe it or not. It helps to relax stresses in the materials, the solder joints and the cables, and maximize transparency. This takes place in the factory. All of this is done in Scotland. Oh my gosh. Now take a peek over here. You have two controls on this. One of them is a high frequency control, which can go up and down 3 decibels. They call it energy. Up or down 3 dB to fine tune the top end to your own personal taste. If you have a problem with your ears losing HF, or maybe you have a problem with tinnitus, you're going to be able to fix that. And then you can adjust the presence down up to 4 dB. So if your room, or maybe the music you listen to, like old 70s rock, some of those old recordings, I don't know, man, they just can get a little bit obnoxious. I love Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, right? But I just have to do something about that mid-band. You got what I'm saying? Now, the cabinet is fantastic. Instead of high density, oh my gosh, MDF, HDF as they call it, they are using an actual birch ply. That is the gold standard for making a cabinet. And I didn't know that. I did not even know that until I just read it, taking this out of the box. If you look down here on the bottom, you're going to see their patented base tracks. I don't know what you want to call this. This is a 2-piece cabinet here. There is an opening here, and there is a cone. There's a cone that helps to dissipate bass 360 degrees in your room. It helps with boundary effects. It helps with you being too close to the wall, too far from the wall. You get much, much better bass. Oh, and then the grill, man. Let's talk about that. Boom, look at this. Ah! I mean, it's just beautiful. The grill is magnetic, but it stores on the back. And then this grill is a little bit thinner than the regular vintage classic models. So it's a little bit thinner grill, a little bit more transparent. If you don't want to see it, I would never use this damn thing. I love looking at this. This is like, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. This is the money shot to me, right? Ugh. Don't tell my wife how excited I get over hi-fi equipment. I mean, she already thinks I'm too much. Look, this is an incredible speaker. They make a few different models. They make it in an 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and a 15-inch model. They're very efficient. You can run these with single-ended amps. You can run them with low-power push-pull amps. They have a benign impedance. I'm telling you, this is the shit. But the whole line is that way, and the people are so wonderful. See these controls? See all of this? You're going to see some metal work on their other models. Hang on, look at this. See this? This is the SuperTrax tweeter. I did a video on this. This metalwork is all done in Glasgow by a boutique manufacturer. They're very, very proud of making these, actually having a factory there, right? And actually using parts that they make there. I love this company. They are just fantastic. Go to your local dealer, call our folks here. They're all into it. They're all not on commission, none of that job. We like to have a good time. And get something that's going to trip your trigger for a lifetime. Something that's going to inspire you, right? At Upscale Audio, we're going to treat your system like it's ours. Thanks.